Rachel Reeves' spring statement is exactly what we expected, full of empty promises, while laying the blame on Trump, Putin, previous Tory governments, writes Richard Tice. Following intense criticism over her autumn budget, which included £40 billion in tax hikes, a reduction in the tax threshold from £9,100 to £5,000, a 50% increase in bus fare caps, and sharp rises in capital gains tax. Her spring statement delivers. Rather than acknowledging the consequences of her policies, she today pointed the finger at almost everyone, but herself. For those still oblivious to Labour's shortcomings, just look to the Office of Budget Responsibility, OBR, for answers. The OBR has halved the UK's economic growth forecast to just 1% this year, while government borrowing is expected to exceed previous projections by £10 billion. Additionally, it gives Reeves a 50-50 chance of meeting her own. Yet magically the OBR forecasts higher growth from 2026 onwards despite higher taxes and more costs. The OBR is delusional, and this administration is a disaster for the UK. They are an outright attack on hard-working British people. Labour has failed on every front. Since taking office, real GDP per capita has fallen. No matter how much they try to cook the books by importing millions of people from abroad, the average person in Britain. Meanwhile, their much-touted pledge to build 1.5 million homes remains empty rhetoric, making little difference in combating the housing crisis. Why? Because the OBR also, optimistically, projects that Britain will see an additional 1.5 million new migrants by 2030, on top of the 1.2 million Labour has already allowed in over the past 2 years. Nowhere in their budget is border security made a priority, despite it being a top concern. Housing prices are set to rise from £265,000 to £295,000 by 2029, not due to a housing shortage, but because Labour has allowed net migration to spiral out of control. Labour's policies have driven up costs, crushed growth, and left British citizens struggling to afford homes of their own. Instead of delivering real solutions, Reeves offers only deflection and